let's kick this into action. In the top left-hand side, we're going to see the blue Zerg. Can he take it down? He's been our last Zerg representative of this tournament for quite a while, and he's been holding that torch high, and he's been doing a good job of not losing. Came through max packs to get to this round of the competition. Now he has to face another beastly European opponent in the top left from Falcons. Our blue Zerg player is Solar, looking to try and keep Zerg hopes alive in this season of the OSC. Looking to keep the Terran hopes alive, because one of these players will go out, and hence their race will be eliminated in full from the tournament as well. Team Liquid's Clem in the bottom right corner of Death Aura here for map number 1 of this best of 5 series. What's up, Juniper? Thank you so much for the 27-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the big resub. Thank you so much indeed. And let's get ourselves up and running here. Game 1 of this best of 5 series. So we get this underway. Winner advances to the top 3 of the OSC. I wonder how many... Clem must have been top 3 a bunch of times, right? Even though if he's only... Let me have a little peek. I guess, do we only have the... So... Clem's never lost in the finals, but I know, for example, he was in the top 3 match a few years back as well. Not last time. Just doing some research, guys. Probably not super important. Just didn't play in this one at all. Been playing that one. And Clem just didn't play in a couple of these tournaments after he won one. He won that one time, and he didn't play for like 2 years after. The year before that, he lost. That was the one he lost in the lower bracket final to Denver too. Did he play the year before that? I was gonna say maybe Clem's like one of the highest consistent, highest placing players in this series, but like just didn't play in a lot of them. I think he's only played in 3, and his worst ever performance was 3rd place. Oh no, because I saw him in another one where he got eliminated early too. Okay, so I'm just talking a little bit of nonsense. Okay, don't mind me, guys. Anyways, let's do some more actual talking about the game and seeing what's going to happen here. As you're going to see Clem trying for the SCV block on this 3rd hatch. Phil goes up on it. He has a drone going to the left side. He'll drop the hatchery down there, and we'll get that very comfortably early on without any issues. So it's going to be nice and easy. Easily done. Easily found. And let's just have ourselves the Reaper hopping up into the main to see a little bit of what we can do. We're going to jump onto a couple of Zerglings to put a bit of pressure on there initially. And yeah, Solar will be taking the forward base, but is still going to get to 3 bases quickly, initially. I say Solar wins this. Ooh. That'd be fun, man. Solar's been good. I mean, Solar's been very good lately, and I do think his ZVT is good enough to challenge Clem. I think his ZVT is good enough to beat Clem. But I still have Clem as the favorite. You know? If Solar wins this series, I'm not like, oh my god, how could this ever happen? But if they played 5 best of 5s, I'd expect Clem to win 3 or 4 of them, you know? So yeah, it's definitely a winnable match on both sides. My favoring goes to Clem. I don't know who I want to advance. Who do I think has the better chance against the pros players? I kind of want to see Clem Classic again. But obviously there's no guarantee that happens necessarily. I mean, honestly, these 4 players that are remaining, Solar, Clem, Hero, and Classic, I mean, are they not just the 4 horsemen of online tournaments lately? Solar's been amazing from the Zerg perspective, Hero and Classic consistently performing from the Protoss, Clem always there as a Terran. It feels like these guys have played so much against each other. I mean, look back to the WardiTV Christmas Day game, semifinals, Solar versus Classic, Grand Final, Solar versus Hero, right? Like, these are all matches, these are all results that... But, like, these are all situations and results and stuff that are just so... It's interesting, I guess is just what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. It's interesting to see that these guys just keep on performing, and once again we find them all at the top of this tournament, looking for a chance to win it all. And I actually think they can all really beat each other. Like, this, to me, this is a really open top 4, where there's no guarantees. I think it was a really open top 6. Like, if we started with Solar versus MaxSpecs and Kira with Clem at the start of the day, I would have said that anyone could still win. I would have believed that about Kira as well, and MaxSpecs, even though they've both been eliminated, because that's just the level we're at, where we've got a lot of great players, and they're very competitive with each other. It's very fun to watch. It's very, very awesome. Anyways, into some actual action on this one. It's been pretty passive for the first few moments outside of the Reaper poking around and so, but nothing killed. The Hellions and the Reaper now just kind of hold map control for a little bit of time, so they're just going to hang around for a few moments. Banshee going to come online here from Clem's. We're going to open with a Banshee in this series to begin with. Get that underway. Again, Banshee and Cloaking coming up. The Marine is on the way through. The Helene and the Reaper take a chance to come across as well for a second. Banshee going to put some damage onto the hatchery here. Just try and chip through this for a couple of moments. Queen's going to shoot. Banshee getting some shots. So a little bit of damage being done already. Just to begin with. And as you can see, that Banshee still putting some damage out as well. So going to get a cancel on the hatchery. It will go down. We just have the Aliens, the Reaper, all joining up. And take a few moments for this to see exactly where we go. One upgrades. It's going to come about. The Queen's going to be there. Just going to see the Banshees getting turned around once again. So that the rest of this coming through. And it's going to shoot. A little bit of damage being done already. So again, a few shots going back the other way just initially here. For the moment, we're going to get ourselves this setup continuing as the Hellions get caught, and now the Banshees into the back of this mineral line, going to go for a couple workers as well. Hydroden, Bane Nest all coming through, and the Extractor taking some extra damage. Queen stepping forward to try and do something about this. Just going to see those Banshees both building in, and a couple Queens going to get over there as well as we try and zone those Banshees out the other direction. 1-1 Missile and Carapace upgrades building through. The Banshee there taking a bunch of damage. Taking a few more shots as well. And yeah, Bane Nest, Hydroden, both building at the moment. There's one of them upgrades coming about, and a couple of these drones getting shot at and cleaned up at the same time. So again, making a bit more of a pick-off on that one. A bunch of Zerglings going to turn back the other way. 1-1 upgrades, Combat Shield coming over. Just going to see the Queen firing at the Banshee. Nice that the Banshee's still here and dealing some damage, and you know, the longer that Clem is able to keep that pressure up and to keep that damage coming in, the happier he's going to typically end up being at the tail end of this as well. Bungie gets a shot off, a few drones coming up. Marine tank is going to move over. Still got the combat shield building. The 1-1 upgrades coming around. Bane speed, the cruise lines coming up as well. The Queen will combine to kill that Banshee as Clem gets in position right here with these few Marines and tanks. Scan comes up. A couple creep team is going down. A few shots coming about already. Going to get a couple drones in the mix there as well. What's nice is that Clem has that upper right base to get to. We're going to see Lings running in for the tanks, but the Marines are having a great time against the Hydras. They'll have to pull back now, especially as the Queens and Hydras actually stayed pretty strong for a while there. I actually thought Clem had more pushing potential, but man, the Hydra count was getting to be very, very good very quickly. And that is absolutely going to make a bit of a deal-breaking change on that one as we pull back over. Infestation Pit still coming up for the moment. Keep that going. And again, Hydra drone building right now. Well, the Lings just going to take a chance to jump onto the Marines and pull back there. Just going to have ourselves the Infestation Pit building. Again, the Lings, the Banes, all coming through. Upgrades are coming by. Just going to be seeing the Hydras and company coming up as well. So again, we take a couple of seconds here. Going to see those Marines coming about. They're just going to chase forward as well. Just going to be seeing a creep tumor or two still going down. We jump onto these drones. Lings run forward. They're going to melt, and this is just going to be too many Marines at the moment. And now these Hydras are a little bit unprotected, and this time these Hydras going down very quickly as the Marines are making work through expensive units of the Zerg. Better fight for Clem on the right side. He's fine, but this time it's too many Hydras. So then we're going to have to be very careful over there in comparison. And again, just have to continue being a little cautious across the board. These Marines gather together. Just going to see the Lingbane Hydra going back over to the right a little bit. There's too many units now. Clem will target down a few Banelings and just find some value before these Marines lift up and get out of there. So just escaping away. Look, Den and Hive both building up. The Hydra Bane Ling coming through. The Marines want to get in after the spores. Just for a moment or two, one medevac taking some damage. We will see the Marines loading back together in said medevacs. The spore comes over to the side. And this big push from Clem going up the right. Just going to see a couple of these Banes taking some shots. The tank's going to siege. A couple more Banes going down. A little bit more cleanup being made right now. These Banes going to get picked away at. There's a lot of damage from Clem, basically off creep for Solar. The Banes are just not reaching the army. Okay, the tanks now are in trouble. The flank is the saving grace for Solar, but man, because there's just that little gap of no creep spread, these Banelings were just not getting far enough forward before they got shot down, and Clem was able to really maintain position here against a very, strong Solar army, and I think on creep it's very different, but that little gap of no creep allowing you to just get so much more value out here on the side of Clem. Now having 2-2 upgrades about to complete from Clem. He's going to be 2-2 to the 1-1-2. Attacking upgrades are going to be next on the list from Solar, who is also starting to make his first few lurkers of this game, and that's something which typically pushes Solar into a very solid position here. You get those lurkers out, and those lurkers typically do kind of, really give him a lot more freedom on the map and a lot more kind of capability in the later stages of this matchup. Ling still producing through the +3 attack, +3 armor, and the +2 vehicle weapons also building by at the moment as well, so we keep that going just for a couple seconds. Clem's been very active keeping medevacs and drops on the map. He has got the Ghost Academy now, and you imagine ghosts are going to become necessary because he's feeling that lurkers are on the way as well. And once lurkers are out, you do typically need that little bit more of a teched up army, which we're getting to as Clem. Like I say, we're very close to getting to that point. We're just not quite there yet. 3 upgrades and the concussive shells still build through for a moment or so. Fusion core coming up as well. We get that going. The Ling Hydra going to get there. It's going to be a push away on that medevac, or those 2 medevacs, pushing them back out to the right side. This is going to run through. Bio going to go and jump onto the rest of this for a couple of seconds, in fact, so looking for a little more. Just for a moment or so here. Trying to find some more value. The Ling Hydra Bane still collecting together. The Marines, the Marauders, the Ghosts gathering up as well, so we continue to get those joined. There's a couple of CCs will come down also. And yeah, the Nidus network coming up. Just going to be seeing the +2 missiles, the +2 melee, that Overlord speed. Lots of stuff that's going to help you later in this game, giving Solar some harassing options. And as we are heading to the later stages here of Clem and Solar. The trades early in this game, 8.7 to 5.9k. It was a good start from Clem. Like I say, Solar was able to hold on. He was able to maintain, sustain, and get through to this point right now, which is going to be the most important thing. Because now we've got StarCraft 2 to play for in the later stages. Advanced Ballistics coming up as well, so Clem's even thinking about Liberators here. Missile turret setup going to be important, you'd imagine, a few times over in this game to try and shut down Overlords and Overseers that are going to try and provide the vision for those Nidus networks into the mains and natural. You want to try and stay on top of that throughout, as the Marines are going to find a chance to get rid of some Queens on their own. It's going to be a nice catch, as unfortunately for Solar, can't really do much about it. I was going to say maybe a scan would be good for the creep spread. We're going to scan now, but the units are already showing up, so not much else to be done there. And again, just the drop showing their power. Able to show up, get in, do some damage, get out again. It's having a very good time. Bio going to have to pull back here. This Ling Bane Hydra Force steps up. Bio going to fight the Field Marines on the left-hand side. Going to fight in return. We've got a few Hydras and Banes. Still trying to get a crossover there. 3-3 upgrades. Finishing in the next few moments as well. A couple of siege tanks, the Liberator, advanced ballistics all building. These couple extra orbitals coming up as well right now, as the Nidus does get out into the natural, so Clem's going to have to deal with only a few lurkers, but still a few lurkers is worse than no lurkers, so this is a problem he has to stop and handle. He's going to do it pretty well. This was not actually too impactful overall. Pushing the center here from Solar, he's going to push straight up to this Bio and a couple of the tanks that were there. Clem, as he comes down this ramp, it should make this a pretty comfortable defense. We lose some SCVs. Kind of surprised that Solar went into this as heavily as he did. I don't really feel as though there was actually that much opportunity there, but obviously Solar felt like there was. More of those Hydras again shot down. 13 SCVs falling at the moment. Damage being done. Yeah, 3-3 upgrades coming about. The Spire coming through. Hydra Bane all in production as well. And we got the Liberator pre-sieged on this Nidus, which is going to finish up, as we will slowly get rid of this. And yeah, with the tank and the Liberator there, anything that pops out is probably going to be doomed. So, fine defense from Clem, who has sensor towered across all of his bases, so he has very good information on anything that's about to happen at any moment of all of this. Another round of Ling Bane Hydra just showing straight up, though, is going to be a Nidus on the far right main base during this as well. The Ghosts need to find a chance to actually stop and snipe. The Ghosts on the bottom have nowhere to really go to apart from just run, run, run. I don't know if they're ever going to get to fire a snipe off. The Planetary Fortress goes down, so these Ghosts are just doomed. And Clem loses a lot. That said, on the right-hand side, Clem does pretty well. A couple Liberators now sieging up. One Ghost of that overall complete just run around is going to survive through this. Now a couple of Lurkers just going to get burrowed. They're going to get picked off. The Marines and the Marauder are going to come through, still hitting that Nidus. Liberator settling down as well. Just the Hydra Bane coming back together. Hydra Bane all coming through. +3 missiles, +3 melee. Coming up as well. Tanks, Liberator, Marines, and Ghosts. Reducing as we speak. The Lings Get back over to the sides. Banes will take a chance to step through. A couple of creep teamers going down. The Hydra Bane coming up once again. Just going to see these siege tanks getting jumped on. The Lings wrap around. I've got the rest of these SCVs coming through as well. Planetary will jump onto the couple of Zerglings. And Marine Marauder tank. Liberator coming through. The vehicle plating coming up. These Overseers. Going back around as well, as we just have 13 Corruptors on the way. Add a bunch of Banes into this as well. You can see this army of Clem pushing up the left-hand side. Resources lost now, 26 to 18k, so you can see that Solar's really been throwing, you know, the kitchen sink at Clem, trying to just get damage done, and then he doesn't really care if it costs him a whole bunch, because the idea is he really wanted to break the Terran down before he got more set up. Unfortunately, Clem survived through this, and now Solar's had a... Solar's now had like an unfortunate kind of bit of time in this game where I think he really ends up in this kind of weird position where, from Solar's point of view at the moment, he's probably like, well, I guess it was kind of a good game in some regards, but then it's definitely fallen away from him a lot as well. And like, you just don't get enough damage done. Clem survives through, his army in a good place, his economy in a good place. It's not done yet, but like I said, I think Solar traded with the intentions of being further along and further progressed than he is at the moment. Pew, 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 pew. Corruptor's taking a lot of damage. A couple of Lings going to get through there. SCV's going down. 5 workers going down immediately. Ling Hydra Bane going to set up and just come for a charge through. The Liberators are going to siege the Ghost Academy. It's actually going to go down before the Cloak of the Ghost finishes. Not sure how impactful that will be overall. Probably not the end of the world, as some of the Zerglings here just going to run through. Banes, Hydras, the Corruptors all coming across and making their way forward. These Banes trying to close the gap. The Bio and the Ghost going to be there to turn things away. A couple more snipers available for the Corruptors. The Corruptors are just necessary at this stage because we're playing against so many of those Liberators. So we really got to just come through and try and deal with that just non-stop. Again, Liberators coming through. The Siege Tank is coming up for a couple seconds. 3 libs at a time. I wonder if Clem wants to move away from that, having seen the Corruptor count grow the way it has done. It feels like they're going to become less and less useful as we do see the Zerglings looking for a wraparound on the Marine Ghost here. Clem's medevacs are just over to the upper left-hand side. He's busy stutter-stepping the rest of this army, and he does keep the Marine Ghost alive. A bunch of snipes coming onto the Corruptors again, and I just don't think this is good enough for Solar. It's now still going to... Okay, it's now a 12k resource loss difference. I actually do the math in my head correctly. There's a couple of nice Banelings there, but that's really the best part of these last minute or two from Solar, who lost a lot of Corruptors once more. He's losing this hatchery on the left-hand side, and this duel of economy is going to start favoring Clem a little bit over the next few moments. Bane still rolling through, Bio pulling back. Planetary Fortress there, continue around as well. The rest of the Bling Bane coming over, just going to see the Bio continue to trade. The Corruptor's going to be there to chase forward. Slipper is pulling back. But yeah, this looks good for Clem, right? He's going to get this base up to the left side. Solar has a bit of money to rebuild with again, but at this point it feels like we're sending the same army again, just again and again and again to try and make things happening. Marines step through, a couple creep teamers dropping, or do you have the Ghost, the Marines, everything else just gathering together here? Again, a couple of Infestors and the Lurkers all coming through. The Lings are coming up, the Hydra coming by. Just going to see those Livs still setting up overhead. A few more Liberators continue to settle down. Lurkers coming by. And everything joins together here. Those Lurkers going to unburrow, going to pull back a little. One Lurker pulls back down to the bottom side of the map as well. A couple of Infestors coming by. The +2 flyer attack upgrade. You see the 12 Banes in production as the scan comes down. Lurker gets blasted. A couple snipes trying to find a Lurker over there as well, but the second snipe didn't reach. Now this Bio army steps up. The Corruptor's coming through. 1 Liberator, 2 Liberator going down immediately. The Ghosts start to snipe again. The Marines stay underneath, just chasing those Corruptors down for a little while. Pulling Bane Hydra having to pull back there. And we do see everything else rejoining. Liberator, Ghosts, all settling one more time. Tanks will siege. The army continues to gather. We're just going to see a couple of snipes from the Ghost coming through. Again, the Bio will take a chance to stem forward on toward that Nidus network that's building up. Clem's just very happy to kind of sit and stabilize this base. He doesn't feel the need to do too much too quickly. Has to obviously be careful of the counterattacks, though. can't let this get too far away from you, so we're going to try and stay on top of that. As the Great Spire comes up, the Lings and the Burrow upgrade coming by. Solar still establishing himself very nicely right now into this game 1. But I still feel like the overall scenario of the game is favoring Clem heavily. It's going to be tough. I mean, Solar is mining both the left and right side base, but he's 13k resource loss behind right now. It really comes down to how he trades, because if he can keep it at about 13k resources lost and we don't get much worse than that, him mining both bases should be huge, but there's also the question of can he mine both bases, because Clem's got to know that, you know, a big part of this game is going to be making sure that at least one of these bases goes down, and already he's focused on the left side. This base should not last forever. I mean, obviously we've mined a lot of this from Solar, but even if Clem takes it at this point and mines it himself, that might just be the offset of the economies that we need for Clem to really move through and just see, you know, finalize success in this game. As Hatch goes down, and yeah, Solar's going to dive the right. He is going to force Clem off of this orbital positioning, so it is going to chase Clem away from there. Resources in the bank are pretty even. Great Spire will be finishing soon, giving us the chance and opportunity to play with the Broodlords. We are going to get into the natural as well. Wall is down. Tank's going to try and do what they can as they set up, but the units get all the way into the main base. The ghosts just keep running. Clem is going to have to pull back against this. The only benefit I can see for Clem is a lot of these units are going to be trapped into the base with not really a way out, so if Solar can't fight his way out successfully, he's in trouble, but if he can fight his way out, then he's taken a good fight, and he's gotten a lot done before Clem really got over. He's going to run deeper into the main base, so Solar wants to try and make this difficult. I mean, these lurkers are being awkward right now. We're going to get some snipes off on them, though. As soon as you break through those lurkers, I really feel Clem gets into the main base, and everything here from Solar is so committed. Sieging up the Liberators already. Snipe, snipe, snipe coming through from the Ghosts again. The Corruptor's in trouble. Like I say, this Ling Bane is just going to go down, and while this maybe started well for Solar, the tail end of it is not beautiful. He kills a good amount of production, but not so much that I feel like this was worth all the units he gave up. I mean, Solar still does have economy to play with, and he still has money in the bank to try and utilize right now, but boy, does he need to try and utilize it. 4 or 5 workers going down. Corruptors, Hydras, Lings going through as well. Just going to get the Lib Siege on the left side. Drone going to get picked off there. 10 SCVs going down. As the Ghosties is going to come across. A few Lings going down as well. A couple of tanks are going to fire. These Lings still getting picked away at. The Corruptors is going to take that chance to pick through this command center. It's going to be dropping in the next few moments. The Ghost still gathering again. The Lings joining up. 2 starports on the way as the refinery continues to settle. And we do, for the moment, calm things down a little bit. Solar at 174 supply. Clem supply blocked. Maybe he did lose a bit more production in that main base than... He lost a couple of racks, a factory, a starport, lost some depots. Clem establishing the left side is massive, but it still comes down to kind of what goes on from here. Clem does not have a lot of economy right now, but he can replace some of that, especially as he gets the supply backing and build again. A lot of tanks will do some work here initially, some of them not even sieged though. As you're going to see, that base is obviously going to be one of the main targets. A couple of Banelings, if they go down, would be massive. The Fungal does pop up and does land from that lurking infester, and Solar committing through onto this position. Couple extra Liberators sieging. Clem tries to surge through beyond this. Army supplies are still very similar. Obviously, losing the base over here is a big deal, because if Clem was about a mine from there, this game becomes a lot more comfortable for him. So losing that is unfortunate, but he is going to be able to replace it in the next few moments. Just, yeah, it's something he has to actually stop and take time to replace, because this was not ideal. Hydra Bane Corruptor coming through. Just going to chase onto this Bioforce. Medevacs trying to retreat away currently. And just trying to escape out of there as the Lings come back through the bottom side as well. All these Medevacs going down. A little bit more damage being done again. It's going to be seeing the Corrupt is going to be there going after those Liberators. A little bit of Bio Ghost settling down. Also, in the end, Clem is not going to be able to withstand this. What a game from Solar. I was really not convinced he was trading well enough. But look at the resources at the end here, guys. 59 to 57k. He brought that back from a 13k deficit and was able to... In the top left-hand side, fantastic opening game from our blue Zerg player. Took everything he had and took a... I mean, his opponent didn't really make even any major mistakes, so it really did take him playing a very solid game and kind of being super consistent all the way throughout to find the W there. Solar is our blue Zerg, who will start in the top left of Ruby Rock. Bottom right side, our red Terran player representing Team Liquid. We've got ourselves Clem. Mention a few drones coming up, and we get ourselves into game number 2. I mean, great opening game, but always got to keep in mind the dangers in some regards of the matchup and what can maybe happen over the course of this. Fun to see what we get into for this one as we get this up and running. I'll look to see where things are going to go. Ripper in the orbital, both building through. Hatch gas and pool coming up from Solar, a couple of drones coming by. And that command's now setting up onto the natural just initially, so we get that into place. Again, orbital coming up, Reaper on the way. Build through for the first few moments, nothing too crazy just yet. Again, after this, we will have the PvP of Classic versus Hero, big matchup there. See who gets to the winner bracket. Grand final with the winner bracket advantage of the 1-0 lead. With how close all the matches are between these guys, I do think the winner bracket advantage may come into play in the finals today. I think there's a pretty darn good chance of it. And so looking to be the first OSC champion since StarCraft a couple years back. Actually, when you look back at the OSC championship history as well, one of the cool things you see is it's actually very well represented by all the races. We've had a bunch of Protoss winners, a bunch of Terran, a bunch of Zerg. It is very cool in that regard in terms of... I mean, maybe it's been a little bit less Protoss-y, but, you know, over 13 seasons, or this being our 13th season, over 12 seasons so far, there's been 3 Protoss winners, there's been 4 Zerg winners, and 5 Terrans, so... It has been kind of a well-spread kind of racial balance in that regard, for sure. There's the Reaper. Sets about, a couple queens gather up. We do have the Overlord just chilling out over there. And the Zergling speed coming by for a few moments. Have our Reaper turning back onto the natural and the creep tumor. And take a couple of shots, taking some damage. Nothing too major just yet. Reaper comes back around, and we just have ourselves the link speed building through. The couple Hellions on the way, commencing to coming up. It's going to be seen now. Reaper is going to poke away at the hatchery, wanting to try and put some early pressure on. The Hellions are going to start showing up to back this Reaper up as well. That is once more into some Banshee play here. So opening with those Banshees, something which were okay in the last game, but not like super crazy. They didn't get into like a completely ridiculous position or anything, right? So they did fine. Like I say, nothing overly ridiculous in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, Banshee Hellion coming through, that Cloaking coming up, the SCV still building at the Tech Lab on for good measure as well. I'm just going to see this Overlord stepping forward, is going to have a Marine to chip through it for a few moments as well. Right there too. Run by gets dealt with. Obviously the Hellions can regather again here. Not a major run by or anything, just a couple lings from early in this game, looking to try and see if they can find some value or find some information right from the get-go, as the couple of additional barracks will build from Clem, so we get those started up. Hellions actually going to take a little bit of a dive through right now, so they're going to have a shot to get some damage done. Banshee will start to come through for some damage as well. A couple Queens going to be right there. We're going to see what they can find as the Banshee has put some good damage onto the hatch. We lost a few drones so far. Nothing overly crazy, but it is the kind of thing that could add up given a little bit of time. Hey, what's up, Bo Job? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime as we do cancel that hatch, so 4th ends up cancelled. Quite a nice kill. Let's see the few Hellions still poking at the Queens. Hatch gets in over to the left side there, putting some work through. You can see the nope, detection means that this hatchery is going to get cancelled yet again. What is going on? We've seen the lanes looking to play a little bit of a wraparound here, and they actually will catch some of the Hellions, so Man, the 4th base getting cancelled a few times over really is the winning kind of move from Clem so far in this game. He's got a good feelings with the Hellions, but now the Hellions are gone. And this time the Banshees will get pushed back, unable to do more. Solar finally finding his defense as he moves into missile upgrades alongside the hydrogen production. There will be the Baneling Nest to follow that. So we're seeing kind of a route which we've seen previously from Solar. See how well it plays off for him in this one. Bunch of that creep coming down right there, and you see the Baneling Nest about halfway done. A few Hydras still coming through as well. Proof spines, those upgrades. See how aggressive Solar plays off of these Hydras. See if he wants to try and do something aggressively or so. The couple Queens not going to be there to push the Banshees back for a few moments. And again, that Baneling Nest coming up as well. Hatch coming by. Get that set up. Everything else gathering together as the Marines and the tank will join through. And the Marines just going to be able to get rid of the creep teamer there as well. So just going to pick that off. Tank will siege up. Everything else settling together. 1-1 upgrades and combat shield coming by. Again, Marine and Medevac coming up. Armory in the factory coming over. Let's see this hatchery. They're going to get jumped on. The few Marines are trying to step through for a couple moments as well. The rest of the Zerglings still gathering up. We still have Ling Hydra producing through. Again, Bane Speed. The Musco Augments coming over. Just going to see the Marines are going to be there. A couple of Lings coming about also. The Hydra Queen going to be there to push the Marines back to the other side once more. So we're going to see those Lings still trying to fight. Hydras and the Lings gathering up. Just having the Hydras producing through. Bane Speed, Musco Augments all coming around. Just for the moment. Clem pushing onto the map, looking to get some damage done here, looking to keep some pressure in over these next few moments. Marine's going to be good for a little bit of a pick off here and there. Some creep setting up as well. The Marines will stim. Things get turned around pretty much immediately. No Bane Speed makes it tough. We're missing the splash damage, but maybe the Hydra damage can do well enough. A couple of Banes actually threatening to get close enough. You can see the Banes now slow motioning through. The Hydras are going to fall, but Hydra damage itself is really standing strong. Remember, those Hydras are upgraded, and the upgrades definitely doing their work right now. Getting some value out of this for the moment. And Bane Speed now finally finishing as well. 2-2 upgrades still building by. As the Lings will continue to morph into Banes, and this time they'll have Baneling Speed, so for any future fights, things should look a little smoother for Solar. Baneling Speed, and that Bane count should definitely have a little bit of an impact on any of the future fights that take place in the coming moments. Missile gathering, a couple Lings are going to come running straight through. Medevac's is going to lift off, and away they go right now as well. Plus 1 melee, plus 2 carapace, all building up. Just going to see the Lings producing through in a big way. A few Marines going to get there. A couple Lings getting picked off. The siege tank trying to set up. A couple of Widowmine shots going through. The Lings then jumped on the Banes, crashing into a couple of the siege tanks. The Banes continuing through there. Crashing in. 3 SCVs going down already. A couple of the other Banes coming back across. 6 SCVs going down. Marines keep on fighting. Banes keep on dropping. It's a lot of SCVs falling for the moment. It's a good attack from Solar, and Clem is just not ready to deal with this at all. And Solar is about to take a 2-0 lead in this matchup because this attack is good, and we've got Hydra still swinging. And they are still coming for this Terran army. They obviously knocked down one base to run across. The third base completely open to attack. The Hydra is standing their ground. Clem is moments away from 2-2, which would have helped massively during this. But now, well, this is already going to have turned out to have been very expensive, plain and simple. Solar is going to take this game number 2. And we get a 2-0 lead here for Solar. In the top left-hand side, our blue Zerg is going to be Solar, up 2-0 in this best of 5. In the bottom right, our red Terran is going to be Clem. Why doesn't Clem play Protoss? I think if you watched him play PvZ, it would be less close than it is in the ZVT right now. I think his PvZ is very good, but I think he's much more consistent, and he's obviously going to be way more comfortable in Terran versus Zerg than he is going to be in Protoss versus Zerg. Considering he'll only practice Protoss versus Zerg a little bit on the ladder now and again, compared to like PvT, he straight up plays customs for and stuff, right? Big map in Mothership for this game 3 then. Get this on the go. See what will happen here. Solar, one map from victory. We have seen a lot of 2-0s turn into 5-game series in this event. I mentioned it earlier. So I'm not saying it's likely necessarily Clem brings it back, but it's A, not impossible, and B, this has been the tournament to take it to 5 games even when it doesn't seem like it'll go that way. In the early matchups, a lot of tournaments have been like that. As a noob, I just don't get it. Clem on the map denying bases, killing drones, it just doesn't seem to matter. I mean, it basically just comes down to how the fights go. And yeah, he's doing the right things, but he's doing the right things to the extent that's affordable for Solar. And in the bigger fights, these Hydras have been able to hold their own, and when this fight came about, Clem just was not well set up and all at home to deal with it. So the thing is, as well, is like so many of the things they do in these games kind of give them slight edges, but if you screw up the big fight, it can undo a lot of the positives that you've made. And like I say, I don't think Solar was necessarily playing a bad game here. Like, yeah, Clem was getting some stuff done. That's kind of what you're meant to do, right? You're meant to keep the Zerg kind of going. It's not like Solar took damage to the point where it's like, okay, like this was bad for me. I am playing from a losing position now. It was never really that amount of damage that came through in this last one. And because Solar's playing the missile upgrades in that game again, and with the Hydras, I think a couple times Clem was a bit maybe surprised even by how strong those Hydras were, and he didn't really have a great answer to the Hydras when they came across the map either. The Hydras really packing so much of a punch there. Game 3 of this series. Settle ourselves, little Reaper. Just going to be coming through and going after the drone for a moment or so. A couple of Hellions coming about, the SCVs and the starport building about as well. Grenade coming down. We're going to get rid of a creep tumor there. The Zerglings coming about as well, just for a moment or two. Again, link speed building up, a couple of overlords on the way about. Hellions and SCVs coming over. Banshee and the Hellions coming online as well, so we got a lot of that underway right from the starting point here. Group of Hellions gather around, just going to be seeing the grenade coming in. Creep tumor at the front, not quite going down just yet, so that one tumor will stay alive at the moment at least. As the Reaper come back through, just taking their stance on the map, moving across. Not going to be an opening given just yet by Solar, not going to let too much happen for the moment. Reaper Hellion comes back through, so again, just going to step over there for a little bit. Armory is building, the barracks on the way. Just going to see the Banshee around the left-hand side, wants to punch itself along here for a couple of moments, finds one drone, gets out early. Clem going to play cautiously with that to continue to settle here. Right now, great opportunity to show your resolve, to show your ability to hold your nerve. And you get it back together, being 0-2 down against someone who is also very good and is going to test you in a lot of ways in these games. And we also adapt to try and fix some of the mistakes. Hellions are going to dive forward just to push the Queens away. Actually, maybe do more than that. Going to put some damage on. He's got the Armory, so he's going to morph the Hellbats. Oh, sorry, I missed the Armory, but was not really expecting the Hellbats to just show up. We can get rid of 3 Queens pretty quickly. The few Zerglings showing up will be taking a lot of damage. We got the one Queen at the back there was very low. Maybe the Banshee could have killed that before the transfusion came down. So these Hellions just commit through as Hellbats obviously right now, straight through into the mineral line. I'm just going to keep that going for a couple moments. Straight into this main mineral line as well. A couple more drones getting shot away at right now. Just gonna see the Zerglings trying to show up, but they're gonna get roasted too. This is gonna get shut down. But it's a lot of lost mining time, and now the double Banshee gonna put damage on the 4th base during this. Looking for a cancel as we saw earlier, perhaps. Gets a few drones as well, so definitely not still done. As again, these 2 Banshees will try their best to get a cancel on this hatch. If they can cancel the 4th after all this, I love it for Clem. Kind of liked it anyway. Like, it's kind of weird. It feels as though that is not necessarily the biggest of, you know, the hugest of damage is done. Hatchery finishing is massive, by the way, because A, it can be transfused, and B, you can obviously get the creep to keep the queen moving around, but it's not enough. 4th base will go down. It's not even cancelled. It's straight up killed. So Clem is going to deny the 4th with the Banshees during the chaos of everything else. He'll get one more drone before maybe saying that's a little bit more than he can handle, because these Banshees now low HP. He's going to leave them lingering. Maybe they can come back again in the future. They're going to try and escape through the top, but the queens are there. So for now, probably just going to have to leave them to their own devices. As Solar loses an Overlord, he ends up supply blocked for a significant period of time, which means that now you're stuck kind of unable to build anything for these next few moments, and that definitely kind of sticks you in this a little bit of a rougher position to figure out than you would have liked. That Banshee is very fortunate to take one extra green shot. I was kind of convinced it was pretty much dead already, but it lives through for the moment. It's not going to die just yet. Units gathering about, a couple of Banshees join together. We will see the few Lings just nibbling here and there. 1-1 upgrades and combat shield will produce. The factories coming online as well. Again, we get the rest of this coming about. And now, as the couple of Banshees settle in once again, just going to see the Marines and the Medivacs coming by. Up through the center. This is where Clem is going to look to start pushing to try and keep his momentum in his favor and keep doing things that benefit him here in this TvZ Game 3. Pushing up onto the creep. Tank is going to siege. We are going to see the Marines going to try and fight through. A couple of Hydras and Queens coming about. The Lings are going to try and run forward right now as well. There's a bunch of those Lings falling. Just going to see the Marines loading up. We're going to evacuate out of there. The 2-2 upgrade still building. Combat shield coming through. They've got our Zerglings. Just going to try and show to provide some additional help. Obviously, Bane speed not done yet from Solar, but it's on the way. So we're getting to that Bane speed, we're getting to that Musco Augments, getting into a better position, you know, for these next few moments. Still got the Banshees. They're kind of stuck there. It's going to be difficult for them to find a way out without just going down. One of them is one hit away from death, the other is low in general. So I think those Banshees probably are going to be kind of in a bit of a problematic position overall. Probably going to be tough for them to, like I say, escape away from that scenario. Marine tank gathers together. The few Marines stim on forward. Just going to find a Queen out the front. Obviously some creep spread maybe up for grabs as well. If we want to maybe focus our attention there. So far we do not, as the Marine tank just pulls back over to the sides. Look, Den building. And again, the Hive going through. The Zerglings producing. Melee and the Carapace upgrades building up as the Marines are going to step forward. Tank is going to siege, and we are going to see the chance to go after some of that Ling, Bane Lurker, and the rest of it for the moment. The Banshee's still going to sit overhead. Shots going through. Ling's already going down. Damage absolutely being done at the moment. And yeah, we have those 2-2 upgrades coming about, and Wood Mines, the Marines are going to start to make their way on the map as well. Hatchery up the top is going to get cancelled already, so Clem maxed out and pushing forward. A combination of Marines and tanks here. Solar on his way to the Lurkers. The Lurker Den is about to be done, but it's obviously not ready yet, and it's going to be a while until Lurker upgrades are available. Bane run by on the other side will not get far, just rolls into the wall off as Solar was disengaging off the creep in the top. He had a lot of the splash damage initially here. Clem is a little bit clumped up, which is a little scary. Obviously off creep, there's a point where he can probably turn and fight, which is what he does. And he has maintained the supply lead. There go the Banshees. At this point, I just don't think they were ever going to really find their way back into this to do anything, so I'm not too sad to see them go. I'm going to be completely honest either. I think at this point they were just kind of lingering on the map, and I don't mind him like trying to get some damage with them while other things are happening. Maybe that is your best shot. He made the most of them. They already did a lot of work in this game anyway, as we now see. Creep being cleaned out on the left side. No 5th base allowed for Solar just yet. The Marines will stand up against those Banes. We're going to stim and scan for the Lurkers as Clem has the Concave, and he believes he can go through this. He's going to target fire down one more Lurker, then he should have to lift and leave here at the very least. That part will be something we can't really keep on pushing through with. As Clem, though, he resets the lurker count initially, which just makes it so much tougher for Solar to establish the lurkers in the kind of numbers that are going to come in to make much of a difference. The Hydra's still there. The Medivacs get pushed back. Three upgrades producing through. Marine Marauder Liberator all coming about. The Widow Mines as well. A couple Command Centers building as well. Need to get it across for a couple of moments as the upgrades continue by. Those lurkers all producing. Blings wanting to take a chance to run forward. Widow Mine going to hit a few of the Zerglings. Hydras will resettle themselves for a moment or so. Just going to reposition. Just going to try and chase those Medivacs down as well, but no fortune there just yet. In the center of the map, this bio just going to stem off creeps, so the Bane's going to struggle to get too good a connection. We actually got some Banes right in the center of the bio. Lurker taking some of the attention. Wouldn't mind kind of trying to do a bit of work, but Solar sees that this is not going the way he wants it to, and Clem pulls himself back a game as he resets in this series a little bit. Away. Gonna have the bottom left blue Zerg is going to be Solar, representing Falcon still. No announcement of him being dropped by them just yet. As he takes on the red Terran to the top right side of the map, it is Clem from Team Liquid, of course. Alright, Rax and the Yes coming through to start us off here as we take a couple of moments. Gas pool building by. Get ourselves set up for a couple of seconds here. Get this on the way. Get set for a moment or two, see where things go in this game number 4. First win, obviously, situation still from Clem here. Across the map, Solar will just get a couple queens and his first lings on the way. Obviously, part of that is going to be to defend against this, so that part will be coming through just initially. Get that started, get this rolling. For now. Ripper will fire the few shots off. Zergling's definitely taking some damage initially. Wing speed building, command center of the factory coming through as well. And the Queen is going to be there to keep pushing the Reaper around. Little grenade goes down onto the mineral line. Drone will take some shots there. And you see the Reaper pulling back. As the Zergling and the Queen combining to put some more damage onto the Reaper for a couple of moments. Just going to push that through. Got some damage for now. And Reaper coming over. Queen on the way. Queen's is going to go. Reaper is going to have the move about. Still chasing after a couple of lings for just for a second or so. Link speed coming up. Bring that into place. Yeah, hatch coming through. Queens and the drones coming about. Reaper going to move around. Not much happening yet. Going into the cloak once again. Banshees have been a pretty consistent part of this series out of Clem. Reaper steps up, Queen's going to be there, Reaper gets turned back immediately. And again, the Banshee, the Marines coming through, so not really too surprising. It's only going to be the Reaper and then Marine production though, so no Hellions this time around. So that is going to be one of the big kind of change-ups from this game. Obviously last game we even went as far as to build the Hellbats. Solar, that's exactly what he would like to try and figure out over the course of this if possible. Queens are a little bit far forward right now, but not really out of position for anything just yet. Well, Reaper sets dead center. Just going to see the Zerglin still moving about, banishing the cloak coming through. Engineering base coming up, refineries on the way. Ling's trying to get there after the SCVs onto the depots. Just for a couple moments as well. And we do see the Ling is just going to pull back as well. Reaper going to be there, try and help out with all of that just for now. As the Zerglins continue to chase, and the Reaper will be saved for the moment. Bayness, the Evo Chambers, again, bit of everything building through just for a couple of moments there, so the Banshee going to show up and get rid of a couple of drones, and no detection right now, so Solar not prepared on this third base at all, loses 4 drones early from the Banshee, What's scary about this is on the follow-up, Clem is going to be on a high Marine count because he's been building the Marines early and skipping the Hellions, so if you do a bunch of damage right now, the Bio follow-up has a lot of punch packed into it. This is not where Solar wants to be in this game for currently. Things absolutely away from, I can say, what they want to be right now, as you just see our units gathering up. Queen's going to be there, Banshee getting chased. Going to see Bane Speed, drones, hatch, all continue to come through. 1-1 upgrades, and that stim pack will build as well. And she just gets a creep tumor right on the edge. 1-1 upgrades, and the Bane Speed continue to come over. Let's see the Banshee firing, Hatchery taking damage. All the upgrades coming up, Bane Speed coming by. We're going to see the couple of creep tumors still getting picked away at just for a couple of moments. And a little bit more out of that for the moment. And just going to be seeing our Marines and the Medivacs down to the bottom. Getting set up for the moment. Marine stim, Queen's in trouble. Just going to be having the units taking some damage. A little scan comes down as well. Still got those 1-1 melee upgrades and that Bane Speed coming about. The Queens are going to take damage as well here. It's going to be seeing the Ling Bane trying to take a jump on this. A couple of Banes getting in toward those Medivacs. And we'll be seeing the, again, 1-1 and combat shields coming through as well. Ling Bane Queen stepping over for the moment. And the melee upgrades coming by. Drones producing through. And with the 1-1 now completed, so has a few moments to take trades with that 1-1 upgrade lead. More importantly, he's on his way to 2-2, right? So he will get to the 2-2 upgrade lead at some point of this as well. It's going to be another opening, and those openings just kind of keep coming around for the foreseeable future. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And let's just have the drilling claws coming up, combat shield and the 2-2 upgrades all coming about. The Marines, Medivacs pressing forward for now. Those creep teamers getting picked away at already. Ling Bane, Queen stepping through here. The Marine's going to fight back the other way. Queen's still taking some damage. Hatchery is going to take a few shots as well. The Marines end up pulling back out of here. The Ling Bane continues to run. That's going to be a defense out of Solar. He is going to hold on against this, and he's not going to let Clem break through for the moment. So, solid defense for now. Good starting point on this one. And a game where obviously Clem must win, but Solar and Clem got off to a good start as well, so Solar, it's important for him to get this defense because it picks up the confidence a little bit as well, and it definitely takes away a little bit of what has been the Clem advantage for now, just for the moment. I'm just still producing through. Infestation Pit in production. Melee upgrades coming about as well, and it's going to be, like I say, 2-2 on the lead from Clem. Maybe that's more so the point at which he'll get some more damage done in this game when 2-2 is done. He is adding 3 barracks, but this is after a 4th base, so again, just getting onto his full 4-base production for now. Got that set up as the Lings and the Queens. We have it to the left-hand side. The Marines here already getting rid of a bunch of the Lings. No upgrade lead currently for Clem, just sheer number of units. There's only 12 Banes in the game. which is a little scary. There's also the drop to the right side, so Clem coming in here, and he's just pushing back creep and just taking this slow and steady. A little bit of progress here, a little bit of progress there. Working wherever he can. Now he's going to find some queens, a Hydra as well. Overlords. I mean, Solar's just struggling to kind of pick and choose which direction to actually defend in, and this is where you're going to start seeing Clem's momentum really gaining in his favor. Good Widowmine shot and an even better pickup as Clem goes into the main. He will lose the units in the bottom right. I like the idea of unloading to the main, but maybe just threatening the main, forcing units to move there, and then unload back down to the low ground so you can reset the position is going to work wonders as well. Marines coming about. Taking a couple of seconds. Going to be seeing the Marine step through. A couple of creatures going down. Banelings. Ooh, they connect, and then the Medivacs took a moment to lift up. I was going to say, oh my god, oh no, the Widowmine shot now. He splashes the Medivacs. My goodness, I thought Solar did it perfectly. I thought he got the splash onto the full Medivac. Doesn't quite happen. Overseer here going to try and bait some mine shots as well, you have to imagine. As he moves straight through for those, the Lings once again going to try and follow through onto the bio, which pulls back against this. The Hydra Queen is going to put the pressure on. We see the Lings continuing to drop, and this army continue to fight right now. Clem trading against a lot of these Hydras, but is it going to be good enough at the end of the day? Bio pulls back a little further. A few Marines on the left-hand side of this battle, trying to find some of the morphing Banelings. So Clem trying to join everything together. This drop has to probably lift up right now and just relocate. Clem does have the Widowmine count in good numbers on the right side. Lurky Den on the way from Solar Vipers as well. Widowmine's not burrowed fully just yet. He's going to get a couple of them burrowed up as we go, and he's able to make a bit of a retreat away from that position. Clem's still 20 supply ahead in this game. Now the drop into the main, but Solar is there quickly. Good quick response. Not going to let that come out of get out of hand too quickly at all either. As the fire gathers. Oh, the Banshees just find the hatchery here though. So the Banshees from earlier, retaining those gives him the chance to actually make something happen when the game is getting a bit out of control and a bit messy for Solar, and he does end up killing the hatchery because of them. So great job there from Clem. Again, the power of keeping your units alive pretty much throughout this really is a big deal, and that is a perfect example of it there. Queens will get rid of these Medivacs, which we'll still see one Queen at least going down, but better than nothing. As you see the Ling Hydra trying to push through now. This hatchery just straight up getting right-click. Clem going to kill it. He's going to lift. He's going to leave. And Clem just basically saying to Solar, you're going to have very limited economy. 5th and 4th base just fell in pretty quick succession here, so without a 5th or 4th, things are going to get a little bit tough. Widowmine's going to start going off on some of these really clumped up Zerglings as well. Fire's still going to try and stand and fight the Ling Hydra, trying to push on through. You are going to be seeing the Hydras continuing to trade. The Bio going to have to pull back just a little bit further. Extra Bio units now reinforcing forward. The Liberators are going to be here to try and siege up this position. I don't know if Clem has enough Bio right now just to straight up shove on through like he's trying to, honestly. Widowmine hits the Overseer. It just feels like the Hydras are maybe sturdy enough to kind of hold their own a little bit, and maybe Clem needs a few more units. That said, I mean, I guess as long as you're still trading and reinforcing, it's probably kind of okay just across the board. Couple more libs, sieging once again. The Hydra count is taking some big shots here and obviously going down, and eventually Solar can't keep up with that because he lost a bunch of bases. So his economy and his mine has just not been great for a while now. Down 30 supply in this game, and it really does feel like we are kind of closing in on a game 5 of this series. As Clem was down 0-2 and has been able to start bringing it way back in the last few minutes. Liberator Siege now just getting pushed away. Solar going to say GG. He's feeling that he's not breaking out of this one anymore. And we are going to go to the ace match here. Clem and Solar going to go the full distance. Game 5 is this tournament, man. 3-2 against Cure. He only went to 4 games against Bjorn, but then 3-2 Hero or 2-3 Hero. 3-2 a second time over against Cure. Now it's going to be a 5-game epic against Solar, but which player will it end in favor of? On the top left side of the map, the blue Zerg is going to be Solar, as he takes on the red Terran. In the bottom right, this is Team Liquid's Clem. Refinery building, SCV producing, hatch, gas. I imagine very soon a spawning pool. Gonna be setting up and getting ready to go as we get this ready to start in the next few moments. Well, all the way to Winter Madness. Solar played some great games early in this series. He is just not quite able to control these Clem armies in the last couple. And that's kind of the level that these two are at, right? Where there is absolutely that kind of, you know, vibe that either can win, and it's just going to come down to who can take each fight better in each of these games. And the first couple of times, that was Solar. He played fantastic in games 1 and 2. And in games 3 and 4, Clem has shown a lot of the similar kind of elements just back, you know, in return, but going back the other way, basically. As that Reaper starts up, Orbital on the way, and we see an SCV starting to move out onto the maps. The SCV heading up to the top, the Overlord coming by there, Reaper coming through, Orbital and the Command Center coming up as well. Hatch, Gas, and Pool will be building for the moment. SCV takes a step through to the natural for a moment or so here, get that underway, get that settled, see what we can find. Next couple moments. Takes a little bit of time for us to set up on this, but chill overall. There's a couple things in the drone gonna come through. SCV gonna get chased for a little bit as well. Reaper just comes about. I'm just gonna throw a grenade down. Gonna get the creep team right away. Just gonna be able to pick that up. Gathers on the left side. Hatcher coming through. A couple drones joining up together. Again, the Queen, the Overlord, the Starport, and the Hellions. A little bit of everything coming through there across the board for the moment as we get this into place. Marine, a few Reaper shots onto the Lings. Going to do some damage as well. It's just going to bring that straight by. Hellions coming up from Clem 2. Wind of Madness has been a map that has shown us the ability to get into a lot of those longer games. So, kind of gets me excited. I feel like this series kind of deserves a good long kind of drawn out macro game to kind of see us through on it. So I don't know. I feel like it deserves for game 5. I guess we will find out. Reaper will shoot. Zergling's pulling back just for a couple seconds. Banshee is on the way here as well. That cloaking is going to follow. And a couple Hellions are going to zap through some of the Zerglings here initially as well. Let's just break through those as we have Reaper still being annoying in the main base. He's going to get a second drone kill now, so 3 kills in this Reaper. And we obviously have the Hellions joined up in the natural. They're going to make a dive into the natural at the moment, so that's going to be something to watch for. Lings are about to have Lings Meet, but not yet. We'll see this Reaper going down. Now the Hellions in the natural have forced the drones to run away, but they're stacked still, and the Hellions still have 1-shot potential. They're going to come through for 5 worker kills overall, and that I don't think it was worth it. Considering the Reaper did so much of that damage, the Hellions basically go for 2 or 3 more workers. Not exactly ideal, right? Not exactly ideal. Could have been... I think you want more for the Hellions you give up there as Clem. Scrounged the defense together there, did Solar, because he just about had some Lings popping that ended up saving him. Whew. Dangerous couple of moments for sure. Dangerous couple of moments for sure. Banshee there, going to shoot at the Lings a little further, so... Got a little bit more done. Just going to see the Hellions escaping away to the natural. The Zergling's going to give chase. Hellions pulling all the way back, getting back onto that mineral line. Just going to try and protect themselves for a few more moments. They're doing what they can. As you see, the Lings absolutely doing okay. 4 SCVs going down. These Hellions need to kind of be saved, because if you lose the Hellions, continued counterattacks could be an issue. One Banshee across the map. The other Banshee here to help play defense. Game 5 starting off in a messy kind of affair. We are going to find at least a drone or 2 here. Bit of miss micro there from Clem, but he will start to get some drones off that extractor. That Banshee is already hurting. He will maybe find one more drone here on the 3rd base location, but he has to be careful because we do have the Queen stepping over to play defense. And I do think keeping these Banshees alive and kind of keeping them going for a while longer is going to be important here for Clem. Overall, he still killed more workers, right? 8 drones to the 5 SCVs, but obviously he's given up 5 Hellions, was given up 24 Lings to make it happen as well. I mean, both players have basically made sacrifices to deal damage in this game so far, but just yet to see who's going to come out victorious for it, or better off for it overall, I suppose, toward the end of this whole scenario. Orbital's still building through, a couple of SCVs are coming up, the tank and the Marines building, 1-1 upgrades and combat shield producing at the moment as well, and a few Queens step back toward the 3rd base. For now. And this Banshee is a 1 HP Banshee, guys. He doesn't get, she does get away, flying away, low HP. Calculated, as they say. Wouldn't be surprised if it was calculated to me. Clem is pretty, you know, when you control these Banshees through hundreds and thousands of games, you kind of know when they can take that one more shot still. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you can stay calculated. One in the combat shield will be on the way through, so Clem continues to progress his position very nicely for the moment. Just getting that set up very decently for now. Bringing that up and running. And yeah, Spire coming through, the Baneling speed is coming up. One upgrades in the combat shield, all coming by. Get that on the way. Banshee comes back over to the left. About to complete. Again, a couple creep tumors being taken down. The Queen's going to step over there to push the Banshee back. A few more creep tumors coming down again. Reset here for a few moments, so get this back on track as we have the 1-1 coming through. The Mutas, the Banes, the Lings, whole building. So Solar going to play Mutas for the first time in this series. Some Mutaling Bane from him. Because he's going into the Mutas quickly, he's going to be much further behind on upgrades. So the 1-1 will be the advantage of Clem. But also, he's not going to be able to drop as much in this series, or in this matchup, because of the fact that your opponent is going to have the Mutalisks available. So that's going to be kind of a big deal. Marine Stim in here initially, going to get some creep tumors. Here the Mutas going to show themselves for the first time. And like I say, getting out of this is going to be tough for Clem. He's going to lose a lot. He's going to lift up. He's going to try and make something of the situation, but it definitely ain't pretty, to say the least right now. Definitely not exactly the start you want, because these medevacs are going to go down. He's going to send one to the main, but there's going to be a couple of units already there, so this is going to be a great initial shutdown from Solar. He gets off to a flying start here in Game 5, and once the Mutas are out. So, gets that a little bit more back on track, gets that set up. Going to see the few Marines gathering in, just going to see the Mutas are going to try and fly forward here as well. The Ling's looking to get a wrap around. Like I say, this drop will go down for Clem. Maybe the important part is you buy yourself some time. Any time spent here with these, Mutas chasing those medevacs was time they were not chasing you around the rest of the map either, right? So maybe that is what we get going there. The few Mutas are going to come over, just going to chase that medevac for a moment or two. Looking to get this set up. Mutas come down as well. Again, the 2-2 upgrades, the drilling claws coming by. Let's get into the center here currently. Right down the bottom, the few Marines and the medevacs up the right. Widowmine actually going to hit nicely, and the Marines are going to end up trapping the Mutalisks, so we're going to kill a couple. Another Widowmine here is going to go off, and those Mutas are going to take a beating. Oh, a little disaster from Solar. That was a lot of damage taken on the Mutalisks right there. And Clem benefiting greatly from that. He's actually going to cut off the Mutas again. Oh no! 3-4 Mutas go down once again. Disaster for Solar. Clem's movement with the Marines has been spot on, catching Mutalisks out of position repeatedly so far. Wow. That is absolutely huge. What a response from Clem off of what was the first push that was kind of caught off guard by the Mutas, and he's just done so well against them following up. All these creep tumors go down. He'll get a few of the extra ones back there as well, so he's looking to push the creep back away from this right side base. And maybe one of his main targets as he pushes here. He's got Thors in the army, so they can help against the Mutas big time. That stops a lot of what can happen over the course of this, of course, so Thors will be able to splash those Mutas, keep them back. And Clem with the Drilling Clawed Mines looking to get active here. Mutas going to come in on the other side, going to get another mine shot. Good for Clem already there. The missile turret in strong position. Clem just steps through. He's got a lot of Marines. Of course, the mines are going to help him a lot here. That's a good Widow Mine shot. Hits pretty dead center on the army, no? A lot of the Ling Bane there taking damage. Widow Mines in the back still good, but the Marines get caught for a second. They stopped moving. Not sure what happened there with the Marines. It looked like I think he almost clicked on the tank or the Thor, rather than clicking back on the map, because he was pulling back and then they just sort of stopped. So I think he clicked on one of his units instead of further back, and that does give Solar a couple of Baneling connections of his own, some of his own splash damage, that definitely puts him into a bit of a better spot than what he was just in. The Thor just blocked the Marines? Yeah, maybe. Maybe the Thor just got in the way and it's a bit slow moving. Happened in such a rush. But it just looked a bit weird, the movement that happened there. Something happened that kind of obviously made those Marines move a bit weirdly either way. We're just going to be seeing the Widow Mines going off. A lot of the Widow Mines going off at once, which does make it a bit dangerous because now you don't have more splash available to keep it going. However, Clem pushing through. He's also saying you don't have a lot of splash. Widow Mines still claiming the lives of Mutalisks across the map. The Thor in the front is going to be massive if it tanks damage here, and I don't know if Solar's really having enough to hold on. His supply is going the wrong direction. The Lingbane Hydra trying to run through. The Banelings going to connect one time, but not going to do enough, and Solar is just going to get out of there. Clem is going to take this series. He is going to take it 3-2, the reverse sweep, as Clem moves to the top 3 of the OSC Championship. And Clem is going to take